looking for the shooters responsible for killing 7 people, injuring 10 others in Birmingham on Saturday. Both of those shootings happened in Birmingham's District 1. Commissioner LaShonda Scales, that's her district, and she joins us this morning. Good morning. I called you yesterday because I thought that was your district, and I wanted to make sure. And as we were talking, I did invite you to come on this morning because of what's happening. And you have a lot of strong feelings about what's going on right now. First of all, just your thoughts about where we are and the people who've lost their lives.
Well, let me say this, and thank you for calling me. My condolences, and that's just not enough, but my heart goes out to those families who have been impacted by, again, senseless, reckless behavior. I will say, as the commissioner for the area, we take in all of east and north side of Birmingham. Obviously, all of these killings that have occurred, the 7 who were murdered, all in my district. In the process, Jefferson State Community College is in my area too, so they had a lot of shootings that occurred there last night as well. So you had 3 people shot there. We have got to do better. We're not just asking for people in the community, myself along with others in terms of elected. We have got to put aside everything, and we've got to have strategies. And these got to be crime-fighting strategies that work. On behalf of the commission, we have empowered the sheriff's department tremendously by making sure that we fund the sheriff to be able to assist the city of Birmingham. But it's heart-wrenching for me. Which is Indian Summer Drive. I was the neighborhood vice president of that community. And this is a community actually where I live. Mm-hmm. So you got to know that, Janice, this not only breaks my heart, it makes me become more and more of an advocate, because these are the people who got me to where I am, and I will never forget them. And I'm very sensitive. And so here we got another young life that has been taken.
Of the victims.
Absolutely. And the thing that we all have to understand is that, Janice, the vigils, we appreciate them, but by the same token, we know at the end of the day, we have got to have a strategy that makes those criminals feel like they can't do this anymore.
All right, you and I, when we talked yesterday, you said you talk to people in the community.
Absolutely.
And you follow people who may have a criminal element. And you said they tell you what about other communities outside that area?
Well, one of the things that they make very clear is that, number one, if you want me to give names, if you go to Trustful, you go to Homewood, you go to Hoover, you automatically go into jail. Right. And so in Birmingham is a lot more accepting, meaning that, we're more into being responsive and being reactive than proactive.
But those are strong statements.
I understand, but I'm a part of the community. And one of the things that I know that we have to do, we got to enforce our laws. And it's just that simple. You have to make offenders who want to have violent behavior and anything else that is negative to the community, we have got to make those folk feel unsafe. Don't make us feel unsafe. We're taxpayers. We're not just voters. We're taxpayers. And as taxpayers, we deserve a service. What is that service called? Police protection. And that's
you feel criminals don't fear anything in the city of Birmingham?
What has happened, honestly, Janice, is fear what? Because by the time a lot of this goes on, unfortunately, no one comes to speak. Those who want to talk feel like, my life will be put in danger. And I think that that's something else. That's another conversation. Because if I see something and I say something, what happens to me? When you leave with the camera, when you leave from the conversation and you, the elected person, you're gone, I got to live in this community. So how do you protect me? And those are the kind of things we're going to have as a part of a comprehensive strategy. But I can tell you, one thing that people know about me is that I'm a strong advocate. And once I see the impact and I know what's happening, I want us to get from the day that we can wake up to Good Day Alabama, and it's a good day in Birmingham. Yeah, I represent Birmingham, makes up 47% of my commission district. So I have to look at Birmingham.
It's difficult every morning to report all the shootings. And I know the viewers feel that as well.
Yeah.
The police department, the mayor held a news conference yesterday. They are addressing it, but do you feel something more needs to be done? If someone said, LaShonda Scales, what would you do then? Because you can't police people's homes.
Yeah.
You can't police people's hearts. So what do you do?
But you do police communities. You understand? And that's the thing. I said that when I was a council member. I served on the council of Birmingham for 9 years. And the one thing I said is that you cannot police a person's heart. I get that. But what you can police is their behavior. And when you are talking about protecting a community, that's what we're here for. And we've got to make sure that as we continue to put in our budgets and we do what we do, we have to work with lawmakers. We have to work with the court system. So when they do go to jail, they stay in jail and they don't get out by the end of the day. You got to make it more tougher. We got to be aggressive. And I'm telling you, the criminals know the law, whether we think they do or not. That's how I was telling you yesterday. I said criminals are experts in what?
Crime.
Right. And law enforcement officers are experts in what?
Fighting crime.
Absolutely. So then we should be fighting crime, solving crime, and we should make criminals feel very uncomfortable in Birmingham.
We've got to wrap, but one question.
Sure.
Are you worried about the state of Birmingham and the future?
Oh, I'm absolutely concerned. I mean, extremely. Because when you're talking about your school system, the status of where it is. You're talking about economic development and where it should be versus where it can be. And I'm telling you, Janice, if we don't get a handle on the streets and we don't make our streets safer, what's going to happen is those who can move, they're going to leave. Our seniors are scared to death. Okay, our young people are dying. And I was telling you yesterday, I've had several of my students, unfortunately, from this baby that was killed on yesterday or Saturday to here where we are today. Every year, Janice, I am literally having to speak about a dead child at one of my schools in Birmingham City. That is hurtful. I mean, it's painful, but I'm telling you, we got to go beyond the vigils. We got to call on everyone who can pray, please pray. But we got to call on the leadership of every one of us and say, we got to unify and we've got to come together and call this thing a truce, even amongst the leadership. And say, we're going to put aside our differences and let's get to work.
All right, that will be the final word.